Are you lonely? Am I lonely? Are we all just lonely islands in the stream? Is that what we are? I'll be spending the rest of the day poolside contemplating this crazy little thing called loneliness. We often think that loneliness is about other people missing from our lives. But what if loneliness isn't about other people? What if loneliness is about you? The truth is, lonely people often wear their loneliness out in the world without realizing it. When you're really lonely, you talk in a lonely voice, eat with a lonely mouth, look with lonely eyes, make yourself small in front of others, step aside when someone walks toward you, put your head down when they look at you, avoiding eye contact, as if the moment your eyes met a stranger's, they'd know your secret. And you'd want to bury yourself in shame, like a child who pretends he's not hungry when others are eating because he can't afford it, and you return to your room every day feeling tired and drained. I had no idea how much I wore my loneliness when I first left home. Years later, I realized why certain people told me to smile more. They saw something I hoped they'd never see, even when I thought I was good at hiding it. Before I get into the reinvention of loneliness, it's worth looking at the research. The CDC, NIH, US Surgeon General, and American Psychiatric Association, or APA, describe loneliness as a negative or distressing experience, born from a disparity between the relationships we desire versus the relationships we actually have. Loneliness is a type of perceived lack, need, or hunger for meaningful relationships in our lives. The word perception is a huge clue to understanding loneliness and ultimately realizing our way out of it. That's because perception, or how we sense the world we live in, is subjective, meaning it varies from person to person. And it's not permanent either, even if it feels that way. But the perception of loneliness is so powerful, it actually does the body harm. US Surgeon General Dr. Vivek Murthy released a 2023 advisory on the subject, stating that loneliness leads to a 29% increased risk of heart disease, 32% increased risk of stroke, 26% increased risk of premature death, risks of chronic infection, dementia, and more. Loneliness is a silent killer. A 2024 poll by the APA shows that 30% of adults feel lonely at least once a week. 30% of young Americans between ages 18 and 34 feel lonely every day or several times a week, and even 22% of married adults experience loneliness. This makes loneliness both a silent killer and an epidemic. All the links are included for further reading. And I have to mention that no one talks about the sinister side of loneliness, when loneliness turns to obsession or hatred toward another person. It gives the illusion of connection, albeit a toxic, one-sided, and disturbing one. And there are others who fortress their loneliness by telling themselves they don't want or need anyone, when in reality, they might harbor a lot of shame about admitting loneliness, as if they could hide it forever. The same APA poll gives a list of how people ease their loneliness. It includes distractions like TV and social media, pets, drugs, and volunteering. But these are all palliative or pain management, and they externalize the solutions. So how did I reinvent myself from loneliness? I began to realize that loneliness belongs to a family of low-frequency energies like sadness, lack, self-doubt, resentment, and that low frequencies don't attract high frequencies like happiness, abundance, fun, fulfillment, gratitude, and creativity. The last time you felt excited about anything, you were in a high vibrational state, a high frequency. So in response to loneliness, do the opposite. Fill your own cup first. I followed my bliss into hours of film from Bertolucci to Miyazaki, music from Brian Eno to Grimes, cooking recipes from Nigella, philosophy, poetry, meditation, nature, Reiki, yoga, dance, performances. I chose to live a musical life and absorb only the things that inspire me. And something magical happened. I began to meet the world at a higher frequency. My inner world changed so much that the physical world matched it, and the energy led me to places where I found my people, because like attracts like. And even if I'm alone, even if I haven't spoken to friends in months, I experience solitude brimming with consciousness, private joys, and spiritual pleasure wherever I am. Because what proceeds from the invisible endures. Its power does not come from external validation. 2013 was the last year I truly felt alone, and 2025 could be the last year of your loneliness. Every day something excites you and you pursue it. Your cup is full and you vibrate at a higher frequency. The world rises to meet you. The invisible world takes shape in the material, and you've made contact with an energy profound and timeless, yet somehow familiar. You've realized the illusion of separation. Once again, perception becomes reality, but this time in your favor. This is very analogous to money. You can't invite money into your life by constantly telling yourself you don't have it and show up in sackcloth and ashes. Instead, you raise your frequency, take action from a higher vibration, and the world matches you in dollar form. This is the reinvention of loneliness at a vibrational level. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.